Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy FPL Yusuf and I'm back again with another video, long overdue. I didn't get a chance to upload one before the Game Week 23 deadline, but rest assured, this week we're back on track. I'm hopefully going to be giving you guys this video that you're watching now and hopefully another one before the Game Week 24 deadline. And there's so much to get into. We've got double Game Week coming up, we've got a blank Game Week coming up. As time of recording this, another double game week has just been announced in Game Week 28, and we've got another blank which will happen in 29. So there's a lot for us to talk about. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. The first place we really have to start with, I think, is Liverpool. The reason why I kind of waited to record this video was just I wanted to get every game out of 23 done. Obviously, Arsenal were playing Liverpool, so it was a big game. I kind of wanted to see how Liverpool lined up, and I think we've learned some interesting things from it. We saw last week on Twitter, I think it was, there was a picture of Mo Salah being released that he was out walking on Anfield's training ground. Now, he didn't have any football boots on, didn't even have a ball. He was just in a pair of trainers. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be looking at sort of Game Week 24 coming up. Liverpool playing Burnley. They're going to be thinking about Liverpool doubling in 25. Is Salah the right man to bring in now? I have hesitations about it. I think, obviously, Liverpool have a Carabao Cup final in Game Week 26 with Chelsea. And I do question whether or not Klopp, even if, I don't think Salah will be fit for 24, if I'm being honest with you. I think there's a chance he could come back in 25. But to be honest, I can only see it being a cameo off the bench because I don't see Klopp throwing Salah in to a 90-minute game of that intensity right before a cup final. It just wouldn't make sense to me. So that goes on to the question of, do we get Salah in for this double coming up and Burnley as well, which is a fantastic fixture at Anfield, or do we look at other options that Liverpool have? Diogo Jota currently out there. Darwin Núñez, there was a bit of doubt about whether he would be fit or not. Obviously, he started at the bench against Arsenal, but did come on, and I think he should be fine. So that is, as you can see on screen, we've got the three Liverpool men up front. Me personally, I think as of right now, I have Diogo Jota in my team. I think if he's guaranteed minutes, I think he's just the best pick for Liverpool because he's just the most consistent. They've got Burnley at home. They play a very nice double against Luton and Brentford. So it's just good three solid fixtures, two of them being at home for Liverpool as well, which is such a massive advantage for them. Darwin Núñez is the other one that I want to talk about. Now, for me personally, at the time of recording, I think I'm currently ranked about 3.5 million. So it really isn't going great for me. But you know what? It's all right. This week is going to be a turning point. Like I said, I'm 99.9% sure that I will be on a wild card, which I will obviously, as I said, will show you my full team on Friday. But Darwin is someone that, for me personally, I'm going to move on to. I think I just need the Darwin chaos. As frustrating as he is to own as an FPL player, because he gets so many chances, but sometimes doesn't always convert them. I have a feeling that at some point that's going to click, and I think it will happen over the next couple of weeks. So I'd rather risk it and have him than not. Obviously, the other striker that sort of will be in this video, which we'll come on to a bit later, is Ivan Toney. But just on the theme of Liverpool right now, that is kind of the conundrum that I'm facing. I know some of you guys will be as well. Is, do we invest all in and triple up on Liverpool, knowing that we're going to have to get rid of those same players probably in 26? Liverpool play Man City in 28. They're probably going to blank in 29. They blank in 26. So it is a hard one. For me personally, I think I'm going to triple up. I think the upside for the Liverpool's next three games, 24 and the 2 in the double, it's something which you can't just miss out on. The question is which double up or which triple up, depending on which one you're going with. Who do you get? So as you can see on screen, I've got Jota, I've got Darwin, and then I've got at the bottom, I've got Trent and Van Dijk. Now this is an interesting one. So Trent did play against Arsenal, got subbed off quite early. I think it was about the 57th minute he came off, which surprised me a little bit. I thought he would have been more than ready to play 90 minutes, considering he only actually officially missed one FPL game week. But it came out afterwards that Klopp said that he's not ready to play 90 minutes yet. I have a sneaky suspicion that I think Trent will start against Burnley. I don't know whether he starts both in 25. I think I could see him starting one of them, but because of how good Connor Bradley has been, I think he will probably come in for one of the game weeks in 25 as well, just to rest Trent before he goes into that Carabao Cup final. The reason why I've got Van Dijk's on this list is simply because I think him and Trent are like the complete opposites of each other. So Virgil's on this list solely because of his minutes. I think personally that he will play Burnley at 24. I think he'll play both Luton and Brentford in 25, and then I think he'll just start the Carabao Cup final in 26. I think he's that consistent and that important for Liverpool. I think Klopp will play him in all the games, especially now that the lead at the top is only down to 2 points. Like, it's very, very close. I don't think Liverpool can afford to try and risk getting through a game without having that security at the back. So I think the decision weighs up. If you're going to triple up at Liverpool, I think Jota and Darwin are leading that race. I think the third decision comes from whether you go for Trent, whether you go for Alisson. Now, Virgil van Dijk. Sorry. Now Virgil obviously has the minutes to his game. Like, he's probably going to be guaranteed 90 in every single match that they play. Whereas Trent probably isn't guaranteed the 90, nor is he guaranteed starting all of them. Me personally, I think Trent will probably start 2 out of the next 3. I think Conor Bradley, as I said, has been so good. I think it would only make sense if they rest Trent, especially before the Carabao Cup final. So when it comes down to choosing that third pick, I think it's really, do you take the chance on Trent and his explosive nature? He's obviously got so many routes to points. He's a bonus points magnet as well, which is really does him a lot of favors. Whereas Van Dijk is consistent, but Van Dijk also does carry great goal threat, especially from set pieces. He's a man mountain in that box, and he really does get on the end of some crosses sometimes. So there's always a chance. Granted that Trent's attacking returns, you probably have a higher potential. Van Dijk also does carry that threat as well. So the 2 reasons why I'm looking at these 2 and why I'm maybe swaying a little bit more towards Van Dijk, one is because of the minutes, right? Like I said, the minutes are important. I think I would imagine Liverpool would keep 2 out of 3 clean sheets. I think Burnley definitely. Luton, because it's at Anfield, I think Liverpool have more of a chance. But me personally, if I had to put a number on it, I would say Liverpool keep 2 out of the 3 clean sheets. But also, it's a way of freeing up budget. Now, I know for a lot of this season, budget hasn't really been much of a talking point, but as Salah starts to come back, South Korea have just been dumped out of the Asia Cup, so that means Son may well be back for this week in 24. If not 24, then definitely 25. So we're going to need budget to afford him. So that's the other reason why I'm sort of looking at it and thinking to myself, is the downgrade from Trent to Van Dijk a move that I want to make? It frees up money, and I get the guarantee of playing 90 minutes. That's the one thing that I will say has punished me this season, is having players that don't play 90 minutes. Estupiñán has been a prime example over the weekend. He's been incredibly frustrating for a lot of us. Didn't start the game, came on for about 10 minutes, and it just made me realize and just show me that, you know what, you kind of want to, obviously everyone's got their own differential picks, but if you can try and guarantee yourself 90 minutes from a player, you just have that much more chance of returning. Which is why I personally will be investing in 3 Liverpool players just for that upside of just sheerly more minutes. But yeah, so just to round that up about Liverpool, Darwin, great pick. I think he's a big differential and one that I may well bring in, and dare I say, even triple captain in 25. Jota, obviously, everyone knows how good he is, consistent up front, especially when he plays in that number 9. He's so clinical. And then the last choice on Liverpool will be solely between Trent or Van Dijk. Okay, Manchester City. Now, where do we even start with them? I think it's only right that we start with Phil Foden and how fantastic he's been playing. I think Foden's one of them players that's really frustrating. I personally didn't own him this week. Like I said at the start of the video, it really did hurt me. Foden has been playing incredibly well for Man City. He doesn't always get on the scoring action or the assist in action, but his overall play has just been outstanding for the last month and a half. He's a cheap option. He's a cheap option compared to someone like De Bruyne, who, obviously on screen I've put Haaland, De Bruyne, and Foden. If you're on wildcard like me, I am gonna try my hardest to get all 3 of them in. I'll be honest with you guys. I know a lot of people won't have the luxury or don't want to use their wildcard yet, which I completely understand. You've got bigger blanks, bigger doubles down the line, so people would want to save it. My team is in a position where I'm falling too far behind now that I need to make a change and I need to just go on the offensive. This is not something I usually do, actually, play the wild card this early, but this season is a bit different. Like, as I said to you at the start of the video, it's like the ranking just keeps dropping, so we need to switch it up a little bit, which is why I'll be looking to bring in De Bruyne, Haaland, and Foden. I think Foden, for his price value, is so good, and I just can't see him being dropped either. I think you will see the continued starts with him. I think the other question comes in as to whether De Bruyne is going to carry on playing his games. Now, obviously, the one good thing about the Man City assets is that they also play in 26. So when you're getting rid of the Liverpool players for 26, they too have a fixture. So you can probably bypass the 1 week. I think they play Manchester United in game week 27. So that is also another good fixture. And I believe it's at the Etihad. So if you're going to invest in them now, I think it just gives you more of a license and a more of a reason why you can go big on them now and just hold them. Um, I think the price difference between De Bruyne and Foden is where I think a lot of people have an issue, especially as I said, like now that Son's coming back, Kevin De Bruyne is starting to push on that more expensive side. Do you know what I mean? So he is coming in at about nearly 11 million. I think it's about 10.8 as the last time of looking. And then obviously you have the big man up front, Haaland. I think he is someone that if he's fit, and I was surprised that he got 85 minutes, but it looks like he's back to normal. I think he's someone that you have to have, especially with the double coming up. I think a lot of people you'll see in 25 probably go for a triple captaincy on him, solely because he will probably play 180 minutes across the both of them, and he's just got such a high chance of scoring. So yeah, for me personally on City, especially in the midfield and attackers, those are the three that I would be sort of like targeting myself, and hopefully I will be bringing them in myself. Okay, so the final part I'm going to comment to this video is it's going to be a sort of watch list of players who maybe aren't on everyone's radar. Hopefully, there can be some sort of differentials for you, or just a different sort of pick in general. So the first one up on this list, as you can see, is Mr. Ivan Toney. He is everything that Brentford do really. Every goal that Brentford scored, 90 to 95% of the time, Ivan Toney's going to be involved in that goal. Now he has got the hardest double on paper. He's got Liverpool and he has Manchester City. So it is probably the two worst fixtures you could have asked for. However, I think there's still opportunity here for him to return. Both those defenses, probably I'd say in particular more so Man City, have a tendency to sort of elite goals, and we've seen them do it over the last few weeks. And if anyone's going to capitalise, it will be Ivan Toney. Obviously, Man City just played Brentford. Yes, Man City won the game, but they did concede. So I wouldn't be put off by seeing Ivan Toney's fixture run. I think he's someone who, I don't want to say he's fixture proof, but he's got a chance of getting to points. Usually it's for a penalty. He's very good for bonus points. So there's always a chance to return with Toney. So I wouldn't be put off by that. He's someone who I will be bringing in on my wild card this week, 100%. It was a difficult one because obviously Ollie Watkins has just returned big. And obviously Chelsea play Aston Villa tonight, so we will know who's going to play in game week 29 and who's not. So obviously if Aston Villa win, then Watkins blanks in 29, which makes the decision to move Watkins to Toney that much easier. But let's wait and see. Like I said, Ivan Toney, I think despite his fixtures, is still a good pick for this coming double. The next two, and they obviously both of these play for the same team, as you can see on the list, is Mr. Hwang and Pedro. Hwang has unfortunately came back from the Asia Cup quite unexpectedly, actually, with South Korea losing 2-0 to Jordan in the semi-finals, which I don't think a lot of people would have predicted. But for us FPL fans, that is good news. Him versus Neto is a very interesting one. You could throw Cunha into this as well. I haven't put him on this video solely because the striker spots, there's so many players to pick from right now, and I just don't think you can afford to get Cunha in. So for me, I think it's a choice between either Pedro Neto or Hwang Hee-chan. There's only about 0.1 price difference between them. I think Hwang is 5.5 and Pedro is 5.6. Wolves from game week 26 onwards have got a great run of fixtures. I will put a little graph or diagram of every team's fixtures at the end of this video. It's from FPL Lego Mane on Twitter. So go drop him a follow. It's really good little graph that can show you sort of the next 5 to 6 game weeks of who's got good fixtures. And Wolves from 26 are one of those teams. And I think for the price that you're paying for these guys, they really are worth the money. Maybe there's a consideration of doubling up on both of them. So you have both the options. Me personally, I think I'm going to go for one. I think I'm probably going to go for Hwang because I do believe he's on penalties. So I think he just has that little bit higher upside. But both are a viable option if you're looking for a cheap midfielder who's sort of an enabler, and maybe will free up money elsewhere for you to go and get the likes of the two that I'm going to come on to next, which is, speaking of, Mr. Heung-min Son and Richarlison. Now, Richarlison, as I said at the start of the video, isn't someone that I've owned. And I've always been thinking with Richarlison, like his goals will drop, but he keeps ticking over. And I'm starting to think now with Son back in the team, Maddison's back, I think it only benefits Richarlison. I don't see Werner really challenging him like that. I think their front four will pretty much be settled off. Kulusevski on the right, Son on the left, Maddison in the middle, and Richarlison up front. So I wouldn't be too put off by him. I think the only thing you have to be cautious about is that obviously Richarlison will blank in 26. So for me personally, I will be going or look at least looking to move to either Son or Richarlison from game week 27 when I believe they have Crystal Palace, which is actually a very good fixture at the moment. So yeah, I think Richarlison is definitely someone who you can make a case for, even if you've missed the boat like myself recently. You definitely can still make a case for him. Now, Son is somebody else who I'm really excited to have back in FPL. He's someone who stretches the budget away from everyone else, so it forces players to choose different. And I think Son is one of those players that he's very good for bonus points. Before he went away to the Asia Cup, he was playing great football, and he's been brilliant all season for Spurs. So it gives another option into the midfield, which can only be good um, at this stage of the season in particular. Obviously, where you've got people trying to catch up their mini leagues, myself included. So it just gives another option and another route to points from someone else. Now, the last player on this list is someone from a team who I think a lot of us thought they would struggle this season, but over the last few weeks have proven that actually, do you know what, they can, there's a bit about them, and that is Alfie Doughty. Now, at the time of recording, as I said, this is on Wednesday, and it's just been announced that Luton are going to have a double in 28. So Luton are going to double in 25, they then blank in 26, and then they double again in game week 28. So I think he's someone that you want to invest in. You want to invest in early. At the time of recording, he's actually 4.6 million. Um, I think he offers such a high attacking threat. Clean sheets, I don't know if you're going to hope for clean sheets for Luton in particular, but I think the what he offers going forward, I think more than will make up for it. If you look back through his last few weeks in particular, he's been very good at picking up assists here and there, and Luton have been scoring goals as well. So I think Alfie Doughty at 4.6 million is kind of a no-brainer, especially if you've got someone like the likes of Pau Torres, who you're unsure of. He's not too far away from like Charlie Taylor, who I know a lot of people will have. If you're looking to move out players like Pedro Porro, Stupinian, obviously Stupinian not so much guaranteed for minutes. Pedro Porro not really keeping the clean sheets at the moment, kind of lost some set pieces. So if you're looking to free up some money elsewhere from those type of players, that is a very good option as well. So I think Alfie Doughty does make it into this list as a nice little, I don't know if you can call him a differential. I suppose he technically is because he's still under 10% owned, but yeah, I think it's a nice little pickup, especially as he will have two doubles sort of in the next sort of 4 game weeks or so. So yeah, I think that's definitely a good pickup. Right, that's brought us to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I am going to try and be so much more consistent. You guys will see another video from me on Friday evening, hopefully, which is going to be a final draft of my wild card. Like I said, I'm practically 99% sure that I'm going to be playing it tonight, as I've seen that certain players are going to drop in price, Dominic Solanke being one of them. So just keep your eye out for that. So yeah, hopefully you guys will see this little transfer target video from me, and then hopefully on Friday I will also upload almost like a final thoughts / final team decider video, where I'll show you guys all the moves I've made, why I've made them, and hopefully kind of what I'm expecting, not only for game week 24, but also 25, 26, and beyond as well. So yeah, like I said, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you very much for watching.